Hello, I'm Jo from the Global Textile Hub, and with my team member, Judy Tompkins from Queensland, we're talking with Julia, who's thinking about entering the virtual exhibition, Reimagined, a collaboration with a difference. But Julia's got some questions like possibly most participants will have. So we thought we'd just do a chat and answer some of the questions that you all might have as well. I'm going to turn the question asking over to Judy.
Okay. The 2021 Reimagined Collaborative Challenge that we hope you're thinking about entering, Julia, along with many, many more. The theme of it this time is Make the Ordinary Extraordinary. It's going to be a virtual gallery again, and it's really been confusing for a lot of people to understand how this is, what it is, and it's caused a range of variables to come up for people in terms of what is it, what do we do. So we're really interested in knowing about the process that you're going to go through, you are going through, to think about thinking about this. So we want to get the ideas from artists and how they might approach all of this. We will be answering in a later chat any of the technical questions and questions about curation of the exhibition. A lot will depend on how many exhibitors we get, and I know they're going to have questions about how to take photos and what we will accept. That's fine, we'll deal with that. But right now we're more interested in, this is a collaboration, and we rather deliberately are trying to push you as artists to collaborate with someone else, and not just with someone else, but someone who probably is in a different medium or discipline than you. There must be a fiber or textile artist, and they are able to collaborate with any other person, a potter, a woodworker, an ironmonger, it doesn't matter. But we want to see, how do you approach collaboration? And I don't know, Julia, I know that your work is textile, and I know that you do jewelry. I've seen some of it on the WAFTA websites, and it's wonderful. Have you yourself collaborated with another artist? Was it difficult? Were they local? Did you have to do it online? Just anything, is it worth it? Is it worth collaborating?
Well, it'll be a completely new experience for me. It's something I haven't done before, but even just hearing you think now, the little brain cells are starting to spin. Especially when you mentioned the idea of textiles incorporated with another medium. Yes, I actually have a niece who's a glass artist, so my head just went kapow. We could get something happening here. So it's all very exciting, and also I do love the title. That is right down my alley, so I will actually do a bit of research into that, because the possibilities are endless.
It's sort of a whack on the side of the head. You know, it's one of those flat forehead moments. You know, so that's what we're hoping, is that take something banal and ordinary, but add your own extraordinary twist to it and do it in combination with somebody else. So that's good. It's good to know that at least that might be a provocative way and a challenge to people to think differently about their own work. Have you, I know I've seen your work online, but have you exhibited work online? Has it been like a PowerPoint or photostatic array or whatever? I mean, and
No.
is it effective for you to sell online? Have you sold online?
I have certainly sold online. I used to have a, well, I've still got it. I've just put it on holiday, a little Etsy shop. I used to make wearable art. So I have actually sold quite a few things online like that, but have never really felt happy with the way it was able to be presented, because I felt that, well, I knew that the photographs, the static photographs just do not show because I do felting and I use a lot of silk, you don't get the reflective properties in that on a flat surface. So I was always disappointed in that, even though I did sell quite well, especially mainly actually into America. But never have I sold, once I've diversified and tried to, I'm actually going more into a sculptural side of textiles. So once I diversified into that, I haven't really ever displayed any of that online. And coming back to, because I'm such a novice, and especially a novice in photography, that has always been my limitation.
It's one of the reasons we trialed a couple of years ago this virtual online. We wanted to do something that was beyond PowerPoint, and we wanted a literal walk-through gallery that you could walk around a plinth and you as the viewer could control it. This wasn't a real estate walkthrough thing. It was you as the viewer walking up, stepping back to a, like you would do in a gallery. Now, we understand the limitations for fiber and textile things when you can't get the touchy-feely. I've been hoping we could do scratch and sniff and touch cards, but so far that's not quite been what we've been able to do. But we do think that this adds another option to artists to sell and display their work. This doesn't do away with the online walk into real life exhibits and exhibitions, but it's another option for people who are from away or across the pond or in another state to see your work in a gallery-esque way. So that was the part of it. Has the tyranny of distance, where we live here in this country, and particularly been a problem in terms of exhibitions or gaining access to competitions? I think we ran into the point where often we couldn't even apply online because our country code wasn't allowed, or they wouldn't accept international, or then you got to ship and insure and hope the numbnut at the other end unpacks your piece properly and then packs it back up to ship it back to you. So I don't know, have you tried doing much even within the country, shipping and hauling and insuring?
Yes. The only time I have entered, which was a country Western Australian exhibition, I only did it when I was able to pack my work myself and deliver it already pre-boxed to a delivery agent set up by the gallery. So I knew it was going to be picked up and transported along with a lot of other artwork. So I actually had faith in the fact that it was going to be cared for correctly, because, you know, as you know, with all work, you put a lot of time and effort into it, and I would have been quite upset to get it back destroyed if it did come back. So that's always been my sort of stopping point. As long as I have control over the packaging, it does make me feel a little more secure.
Well,
And so with this thing, go ahead, Joe.
I was just going to say, with this exhibition, there is no size limit because you don't have to ship it anywhere. So it can be as small or as big as you like. Just keeping in mind that it is going to go into a gallery space, so you can't sort of make something that would be for outdoor, an installation outdoors. You've got to think gallery, but you know, other than that, there's no limit.
Right. And also, the artist's work isn't necessarily sold. You can just use it as a display purpose.
Yep.
And would there be an availability that if you were displaying that someone could contact you regarding?
That's the sales. It'll be between
the only
you
way.
and,
Yeah.
the only way.
Right.
You and them. We don't want to be involved. It's
No, exactly.
No.
And
Sure,
I
we
think
should
that's
be.
a good way. I actually think that would make most people more comfortable.
sure. Yeah, so it means we're not taking a commission
No.
on your sales. It's between you and them, and we are just providing the platform and a way for, in particular, artists in this hemisphere to have some access to a really good juried exhibition that's online. And for some of them, it's the first time they've had a chance to get this sort of exposure. But our judges are from the US and from Australia.
You want to
So
say who? You want to say who?
You can introduce them, Joe, and let her know that we'll be watching her art.
Well, our Australian judge is Janet de Boer, and Janet has had a long history with Textile Fibre Forum, and she's really well versed in the arts. In the US, Jackie Abrams and her work, and Susan Feller, who was our lead judge in the first one. And Susan knows the process. She knows what we went through. She knows how to connect with the jurors. So her work is textile, and she's taking her textile work into the fine art gallery. She's doing a very good job of that. So those three will be profiled on the web page on our website, and you'll be able to read about them. Go to their websites.
And we'll have some videos available, interviews with them already. We've done already one with Susan from the previous one, but we still have Janet and Jackie. Is Jackie's
interview? There's an interview on Kira's channel about with Jackie. Yeah.
So those people will be there, and their work available for you to see. So, we are flattered that we've got these three very high-powered artists willing to do this for this sort of beginner outfit that we're doing. But we think we're going to get some really high-end art entrants this time. I guess, Julia, what is most appealing about this kind of a challenge then? Is it the collaboration or the theme or the fact that it's online and walk through? Is there anything that grabbed you as to want to even think about doing this?
I actually think it's an amazing opportunity. How rare is it to have a juried textile art exhibition? I mean, any of the exhibitions I have entered, there's my little piece of textile that I actually, on most occasions, have to enter just in the sculptural category. So you're sort of on the back foot right from the beginning, because it's only just recently I feel that textiles are actually being accepted as an art form, let alone
not just craft.
Yes, and let alone actually to compete against the other amazing sculptures that you come across. So that was the main interest for me, to think that it's a level playing field for textile artists.
Yep. Excellent. Any other questions or comments or insights that you can give us on as we do this? I mean, Joe and I have battled this, and now we've pulled Kira in as well. But we've self-funded all of this. We've done it because we think it's important. We think that it is a need that it's a hole in the mesh, in the net for art and art exhibitions, and for textile and fiber art in particular.
I think it is an amazing idea, and kudos to you for carrying this forward, because I really think it's needed, and especially now with this rotten virus hanging around. I mean, really, artists need to be able to exhibit their work, and with all the galleries shutting down, that leaves a void that needs to be filled, and I actually think this is the ideal way to do it.
There's also, I think, another dimension benefit of all this too, is that if those artists who do contribute can offer constructive criticism or comment, you need feedback. You need a collective bunch of folks to talk to bounce ideas off. And that's the biggest thing, I think, for art or anyone working in isolation. I'm quite happy on my own too, but I really get a lot of energy and ideas from others. They may have been just doodling something or twisting a piece of paper, and I'm going, it could be something they've talked about. It doesn't matter, but it's that stimulation of other creatives around you ever so often that you need. And we may need to do more webinar-y type things that at least give people an opportunity to just chat about whatever.
Yes, I actually totally agree there. I find that mentorship or even just discussing ideas is
Yep.
something I certainly am quite devoid of. And the slightest little thing can just set you in a new direction. And I really love that idea that there can be a collaboration of, even if it's not a collaboration of actual work, a collaboration of ideas, and
Absolutely.
you know, it just gets that brain
Yeah.
spinning,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
you come up with a multitude of ideas that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise.
Excellent. Many thank yous, Julia. Anything else, and anything else from you, Joe?
No, my clock has just chimed, so I think we're
Yes, I
out
heard.
of time. But it was lovely to talk to you both, and
Yeah,
we'll
this was
do more of these. Thanks.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for
Bye.
your time.
Thanks very
Julia,
much.
and your
Lovely
insight.
to meet
Thank
you,
Lovely to
Judy.
meet you too. Yep. Talk
Bye.
to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.